here. So there are 7 people who will share their own experiences in terms of as they went along the journey of entrepreneurship. What are the kinds of challenges they saw? What are the kind of expenses they saw? What did they anticipate? What did they not anticipate, and stuff like that. So let's validate as to whether what you guys are telling us, is there something else? Is there some other angle that you guys have not thought of, or is it only reinforcement of some of those messages? 3 viewers on the video for us. You recognize one, so I will not introduce this one surprise person. But the other two, one is Raman Roy. He used to be my boss, in fact, at American Express. And he's called the father of the PPO industry. Started off from scratch. So, one time they say they were going to with voice in India, servicing the rest of the world. And people thought he was great. But so his journey, I thought that's an interesting, innovative way of thinking, which was initially not recognized, but today we have millions of workers who are working in the GCC business, as they say, the Global Capability Centers. The second one is, like I introduced Amit Jain, is a shark in the Shark Tank. And how he started off straight after his college from one room, I think it was in Finance. From there on, and he's got about 5,000 to 7,000 people working in his teams now, and he's running a $1 billion evaluation company. Can somebody tell now? Okay, maybe we'll reverse the flow. Let's get the panel first, and meanwhile we'll set the video right as well. So can I ask the panelists to please come up? India has already become the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, with over 100 unicorns existing. It is my pleasure today to host an entrepreneur who is taking this journey and is still going from strength to strength. Amit is a graduate engineer from IIT Delhi. He is the CEO and co-founder of Car Group and will take us through the highs and lows of entrepreneurship today. Let's talk a little about your own skills required maybe at the beginning of the journey and now when the organization is much larger. What are the big changes you've seen in yourself as a leader as you climb your corporate ladder?
I think if we take the 0 to 10 journey, the leadership style is very different. Journey is right in the front, leading by example. So I think I'll basically call it like there are two leadership styles, as I view it. There's style of leadership where you have to take that army and take it from the front and putting that team into our. The second style of leadership is Krishna style of leadership where you sit back and basically guide the team strategically on where to attack, what is the way to win. And there's an aligned team that going on for it. So the first every startup will have to have a ground era kind of application style. Where you have to lead from the front, you have to lead by example. You're fighting with your own hands literally and your hands up. And with a team aligned behind you with basically seeing or inspiration going after it. That was the first style of leadership, first for many years. And then you realize, you single-handedly you can't make it as well because you have limited bandwidth, limited number of hours, and if you don't multiply yourself into multiple leaders who are actually exactly with what you are, and you mentor them and guide them, you will not be able to scale, beyond a point. Okay, and it's very difficult to become, someone institutional leader to, a leader who basically enables others. It's not easy. So I had to obviously, unlearn and relearn. So there is fun in doing that, fighting the battle of yourself, going out and writing the code, fixing things, firefighting yourself, versus, watching it from a distance and, letting another leader evolve. Basically, do exactly what you're doing and probably do a better job than you was. And appreciating that. Because as the scale grew, the same leadership style was ineffective. But hiring smarter people than yourself, you were helping them grow. You were to empower them. You had to know how good your leader can be. This is time and change that happened. And I think that really helped because that kind of innovation. This style of innovation has helped us evolve many.
इसको फिर next slide में दोबारा move next. Yeah. Okay, so I apologize for the poor quality of the video. It's not showing or it's not as audible as it should be. And I tried listening from the back end of the room, it's not coming out clear. So I'd rather than utilize the time that we have to tap into the brain power that is sitting right here. So shall I start with you, Shamli? So Shamli has been, in fact is an executive director with Morgan Stanley. So very senior leader, doing very well for herself, but gets the itch for entrepreneurship. So let's hear from her own mouth, maybe for 5 minutes or so. Just give a little piece of your own story. What was the kind of self-doubts? Were there any self-doubts that existed? Oh, ye pata nahi hoga, nahi hoga mere se. And to give up the security of a salary at the end of the month to say, let me try something different which is close to my heart. I'm sure the girls will benefit from that.
Firstly, I must say, I'm floored by the energy and the courage that is there in this room right from the day the time I've come. Right? So, firstly, a big congratulations to all you girls and all the mentors who made you capable of being here. Right? So, when I was your age, I was not even 10% of what you are. So if I am here, you will go far away, far above. There's no doubt about it, right? Now, where did I find the courage? First thing, and I'm going to give you very practical tips, okay? There is a lot of courage required. You have to overcome your own inhibitions. All that is fine. I'm going to give you 2-3 tips. Where does that strength come from? Okay? I'm just going to give you 2 tips. Okay? And that should be enough. One, I'm from the investment banking business. Okay? So I understand the value of people and money. Okay? Now, when you, and this is what I've been working for years, when you ask me what gives you the courage and what makes me stand there, एक ऐसा ग्रुप रखो अपने साथ जो आप कुछ बोलोगे ना कर देंगे. एक ग्रुप जो बोलोगे यार मुझे ना थोड़ा सा एक मार्केटिंग एक वेबसाइट बनानी है, बनाओगे क्या? जरूरी नहीं है उनको आता है, पर और 2 लोग लेकर आएंगे जिनको आता है. राइट? सो दैट्स वन. एक इनके जैसा एक मेंटोर रखो जो ये बोले कि तुम सही जा रही हो. That is very, very important. Very important. So, in terms of people, एक ऐसा ग्रुप रखो जो तुम्हें मदद कर जाए और एक मेंटोर रखो जो तुम्हें बताए कि आप सही जा रहे हो. Now, second thing that I'm going to say is money. Like I said, the second power is money. जिन्होंने भी हाथ ऊपर किया था, जिनको एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है, वापस एक बार, आई एम श्योर अभी ज़्यादा होंगे, अभी ज़्यादा होने चाहिए यार. आप सबको एक बहुत प्रैक्टिकल टिप दे रही हूँ, थोड़ा थोड़ा सेव करना सीखो अभी से. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, क्योंकि जब आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बिजनेस करने लगते हो ना, ये पूंजी बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा काम आएगी. एक जूता कम खरीदना, लेकिन वो पैसा सेव करना, that money will take you a long way to start an entrepreneurship business. Yeah, so I'm going to only give you 2 tips, and probably there is more, okay? But for me, what worked are these 2 tips. That gave me the courage, and that gave me the confidence that I can do something in life.
Excellent. So we move leftward. So Anish, without. So the name of his company is Without, and into social entrepreneurship in terms of recycling these non-recyclables. So I'll let him elaborate on that. But very wonderful journey, Anish. I was really impressed. So why don't you tell us a little about your story and what gave you the courage and what were the doubts that were there in your mind and why this idea of recyclables?
Thank you. As Shamli and as Shamli, I was also very impressed by everybody in the room. I want to invest in Let's Grow. You guys are awesome. But yeah, that's the right spirit. You guys, it's been really inspiring for me as well. And those questions are really hard. I've been doing my startup for 5 years and I don't have good answers for that, right? So 15 minutes is nothing, but I think the idea was to get your brains working that this is complex, it's hard, and how do you think? So a little bit about me. I'm a kid from Aurangabad, but I grew up in Dubai and spent some time in the US before coming back to India to start up something, to solve real difficult problems. And what we do is that we take this impossible to recycle plastic waste. सबको chips packets, सबको Lay's chips खाना अच्छा लगता है, right? पर इनकी जो पैकेट्स रहते हैं ना, वो मल्टी लेयर प्लास्टिक या MLP से बनते हैं. एंड इसको रिसाइकिल करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, नामुमकिन है. लेस देन 1% ऑफ दिस प्लास्टिक वेस्ट इज रिसाइकल ग्लोबली. तो हमें ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना था, और बहुत मुश्किल प्रॉब्लम थी, बट दिस वाज आवर मेन प्रॉब्लम. एंड देन वी डेवलप्ड पैकेटेड टेक्नोलॉजी जो ये चिप्स पैकेट को रिसाइकिल करता है, लेयर्स को सेपरेट करता है और उसको हाई क्वालिटी मटेरियल्स में कन्वर्ट करता है. और हमने हमारा फर्स्ट प्रोडक्ट जो बनाया था वाज द वर्ल्ड्स फर्स्ट सनग्लासेस from world's first recycled sunglasses from packets of chips. Now, sounds very simple. हाँ, chips packet को sunglasses बना दिया. Very hard to do. Very difficult process. Lots of ups, lots of downs. But because obviously हमने अकेला नहीं किया ये. We had a team of people who could make this happen. ये पूना में किया, कुछ आउटसोर्स नहीं किया. तो I first of all invite everybody. I would love to organize a tour with Udayan if whoever's interested to come. And because हमें भी थोड़ा सक्सेस मिला है, अच्छा किया. So we've been on Shark Tank. So if you want to know more about our work, please go check out Shark Tank. सब मिल जाएगा तुम्हें. और बहुत सारे लोगों ने देखा कि और ऐसे लगा, वाह अनीश क्या काम किया, कितना अच्छा किया, this is so amazing, you're so great, कितना अच्छा काम कर रहा है. पूरे दुनिया घुमा हूँ ये कहानी बोलते. And I don't want to talk about that because you can see whatever, it's not interesting. But I want to be honest with you guys. I want to say that that's the glamorous side of entrepreneurship. right? सब लोगों ने हाथ ऊपर किए, I want to be an entrepreneur, like you know, like 20, 30 of you. I want you to ask the question why, and I want to give an example. Right? अभी, I mean, this is a morbid example, so sorry मैं अभी बोल रहा हूँ, but अभी plane crash, right?
Yes, sir.
Still, does anybody know the failure rate of startups? Does anybody know the failure rate? 90% of startups, 9 out of 10 startups, fail within the first 2 to 4 years. Right? You need to know this. It's really hard. It's not a fair race. कोई साथ में नहीं शुरू करता है, सब जीतते नहीं हैं. And you only hear the good stories. You only hear the Shark Tank and the this and the that. You don't hear about the crime and the पैसा कहाँ से मिलेगा, लोगों को फायर करना है, इन्वेस्टर गाली दे रहे हैं, right? You don't hear all of this. The question you have to ask yourself is क्यों कर रही हूँ मैं? And I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be like, don't become an entrepreneur. But the first starting point is, will you get on a plane that has a 90% chance of crashing? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. And if you say yes, then definitely become an entrepreneur. But think, so what my recommendation, and listen guys, it's the world of AI. You have ChatGPT on your phones. ChatGPT will know way more than anybody who tells you anything. You have enough information and knowledge available. I'm not going to give you gyan. In fact, one thing I've learned is the more people who gave me gyan don't really know anything as well. You have to figure out your own path. Gyan you get yourself. But what I do want to say is, if you really want to be an entrepreneur, before starting up and becoming an entrepreneur, I don't give gyan, but before starting up and not being an entrepreneur, work for an entrepreneur. Work in a startup. See the plane. तुम risk नहीं ले रहे हो ना, किसी और के plane पे तुम you're getting on somebody else's plane that hopefully is not crashing, right? So that would be my advice. And then later on, when you're older and wiser, when you feel like you have the right motivation, you have the right why, it can't be because I want to be an entrepreneur, it can't be because I want to make paisa. You should only become an entrepreneur if you want to really solve problems that nobody else is solving. And you can do it differently. Otherwise, don't become an entrepreneur. There are many other people doing good work, join them, learn from them. So I don't want to be negative because this is all about entrepreneurship, but I also want to be real. 5 साल किया है मैंने, right? And बहुत लोगों को रोते हुए देखा है. Luckily, we still हमारे plane का crash नहीं हुआ है. But we don't know next 6 to 12 months, हम 12 पड़ेगा plane का क्या होगा, right? But I think it's important that I'm honest. मैं ऐसे सब बोलूँ, everything is great, everything is good, तो उससे क्या होगा? जब तुम गिरोगे ना तो it hurts. So make sure you are ready before you start out. So sorry for being negative, but let's do it.
So honestly, Deloitte and the cloud engineering architect. Let's get you. But before that, once again, can we get the Deloitte team, please? Can we please give them a round of applause? Thank you for being here. And I've seen such wonderful participation from Deloitte all along yesterday, today, and so on and so forth. So well done, and representing one more voice. So can we hear you, Dhanashree?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's wonderful and captivating to see the energy in the room, and as Shalini mentioned, I'm amazed to see the ideas, the courage, and as she said, like when we were out the stage, we never ever thought of doing all these kind of things, or put your thoughts so clearly, right? That was one of the barriers, and I think it's glad to see the generations have changed and ideas are coming. I think big applause to you as well as Udayan Care, because this is really wonderful to see this kind of nurturing of talent, which hardly happens, because there are a lot of in our time we had so many educational courses but no practical knowledge, no interaction with the people who have gone through the journey, when our leaders explained. It's really difficult to get that kind of honest advice. Yeah. So it's really difficult to get this kind of honest advice at this stage of your career. I would say that during my career, I have set up a lot of teams, which is like setting up small enterprise within the enterprise, because I work for larger organizations. So it was always setting that smaller unit putting a case to my leadership saying I can build it from scratch, so from a 2 member team, prove it, do the marketing within the organization saying my team is the best and you should come to me and show the growth and all of that. So it was kind of entrepreneurship within the organization, I would say. I completely agree with Shanti because you need to mentor. And my journey also started with a mentor when somebody actually told me that you can do it. I never believed it. And somebody told me that yes, you can do it. Why don't you go and present? Why don't you talk? And they're on and the journey is on. And I'm doing that repeatedly for multiple teams within the organization. Second thing, as Anish mentioned, please know the problem, what you're trying to solve. And we at Deloitte, we say that impact matters. So our leadership constantly keeps telling us that whatever you are doing, it has to have a purpose, it has to make an impact, and it has to make the impact on the lives of people. Right? It should not be, if you go with the motto and with the glorious stories, as Anish mentioned, that somebody did a startup, got so much of money, and that's the reason you want to go, probably you are actually on the path of failure because one, you don't know the purpose, and you have to really be passionate about that purpose to get achieved by your actions. And the purpose has to help someone solve the meaningful problem which people are really badly dealing with. There is a gap, and there is always a gap. And I was really glad to see your thought process, the way you approach, the way you thought. Somebody said Ayurveda, somebody said not just for women and men. Very right way of thinking, because I think about the problem and the gap, address it, and make sure that you're living for that purpose. You're actually doing everything in your life for that purpose, and make sure that you want to do everything to make that impact and change your lives, and things will fall in place for sure. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. And on the other extreme of the panel is Shivam. I've been very impressed with Shivam. I'm telling you, I've spoken with him now for about 2 or 3 times, and every single time he's come in and impressed. He's running his own company called Grow My Dhanda. So obviously into entrepreneurship, and he started very young. In fact, he's still very young. I think he's matching some of the Shadis in their ages as well. And for him, maybe the question I should ask you, Shivam, is given all the challenges that you were facing, how did you come to this realization? Give me more details, but the background that you come from.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you so much for having me here. Really amazed to see the energy over here and all that. So as Rajni sir said, I started at a very young age. I started business at the age of 14, right? So I'm right now 19. And so basically the point that I'm trying to get across is not to get appreciation for my age and all. What happens that I have trained a lot of people, I have a lot of employees like in my company, which is Grow My Dhanda. It's a consulting company, right? So what we do is we give brand consulting, we give branding, we give marketing, and if you need something, then ask me. Right? So we give that, right? So what happens that whenever I train somebody and they say कि मुझे business शुरू करना है, right? जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी उदयान केयर के साथ एक सेशन किया हुआ है ऑनलाइन, जहाँ पे कुछ लोग आए थे यहाँ से, तो उन लोगों से मैंने पूछा था, तो सबके पास आइडियाज थे, राइट? तो वहाँ पे क्या था ना, मैंने जब उनसे पूछा कि आप शुरू क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो, तो they have excuses to give. I will say it very bluntly because I have not learned business from any school or anything or any degrees and all. I have learned it by doing it. So क्या हुआ था, सबसे पहले एक्सक्यूज आता है मेरे पास जो आप लोग देते हो, जो आप लोग के मन में भी होता है, जो आपको लगता भी है कि बहुत वैलिड है, इज दैट आपकी फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं करती है, राइट? बहुत कितने लोग हैं जिनकी फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं करती है ऑनेस्टली, और बाकी सब की करती है, राइट? अभी बहुत लोग मुझे बोल रहे थे, बट आई कम फ्रॉम अ फैमिली लाइक सिंस आई वाज not, I didn't belong to a very rich family. My father is not a businessman, of course. My mother used to work since I was 6 months of age. My mother used to work as a maid right, in people's house to get the household going. And later on, she moved to Mumbai and she used to do work as a caretaker of newborn babies, right? So that's what she used to do. And my sister, who's 10 years older than me, she used to take care of me and all, and my father was not very supportive of me. So that was the first thing. So definitely I did not had any money to start with. So आप लोग बहुत लोग बोलते हो कि आपके पास startup के लिए fund नहीं है, right? I started with just a computer in a very small room, right? And maybe the computer was even lagging all the times and all that. I did not have any good cameras or any good microphones to take meetings. And also, आप लोग में से कितनों को लगता है कि आप लोगों को इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, इसके वजह से हो सकता है कि आप लोग नहीं कर पा रहे हो, right? Like I come from a Hindi medium background, which is a government school. Like it was a Hindi medium government school, and from there I have not taken any classes and all. मैं खुद से सीखा, खुद से किया, and मैं ये ब्रैग करने के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं ये बताने के लिए बोल रहा हूँ आपको कि if you really want to do it, you can do it, right? And definitely I'm going to do a lot of more things in future, but आप लोगों को start करना पड़ेगा. Wherever you are, maybe you have unsupportive parents, maybe you don't have a lot of time with you, maybe you don't have the vision, but that's just productive procrastination. You have to start and like reduce the consumption of the content, reduce the consumption of the podcast and content and video and motivation and inspiration, and start doing some stuff, right? Because we all know very good YouTubers. So we don't need anything.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shivam. वो बाद में बात करेंगे. अच्छा, I am a keen sports person by the way, and I've learned so much from sports which I apply in real life. And sports की जब बात करते हैं हम लोग normally physicality की बात करते हैं ना, strength कितनी है और muscles कितनी है और jump कितना करता है और भागता कितना तेज वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. What one doesn't appreciate is the mindfulness. Actually, sports में जो सीखने को मिलता है is the focus. और कुछ नहीं करना, मैंने सिर्फ ये करना. Is the resilience. इससे मैं देखता हूँ कैसे नहीं जीता ये गेम वगैरह. Those are the kind of things. So mindset, creating a mindset and making sure that you have that hunger to win. I think that is very important. And that. Forget about the 90 people who fail. Yeah, sure, of course. वो जैसे वो घोड़े की नाल होती है ना, कि मैंने इधर देखना ही नहीं जो 90 फेल हो रहे हैं, मुझे क्या लेना देना, हो रहे होंगे किसी अपनी गलती से, मैं तो उस पेन में हूँ. And that's the kind of determination which is needed. So maybe we'll start the second round of questions from the other side. Huh? So Shamli, you made the last one. So Shivam, back to you. I think the question I want to put generic, but maybe specific for you. Generic question is, what is the top challenge that you faced in going through with your business? And since you are in the digital marketing world, maybe I'd love for you to give some piece of advice for our youngsters here, your age group youngsters, is to say, what is the kind of challenge you faced in running your organization?
Right. So when I started, of course, I didn't know anything. मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था. Of course, because I was 14. तो मैंने वहाँ पे धीरे-धीरे YouTube कंज्यूम करना शुरू किया था and all. तो first of all, the challenge was to get the right kind of information because there are a lot of content creators जो कि आज वीडियोस बनाते हैं और बहुत सारी चीज़ें. Because हम ज़्यादा चीज़ें वहीं से सीख रहे हैं. हम कोर्सेज भेजे जा रहे हैं, हमें YouTube वीडियोस भेजे जा रहे हैं, हमें बुक्स बोल रहे हैं कि पढ़ हुआ. So ये एक चैलेंज था मुझे सबसे पहला जो आया. और आफ्टर कंज्यूमिंग लॉट ऑफ कंटेंट मुझे ये रियलाइजेशन हुआ दैट देयर इज ओनली वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ नॉलेज इज नीडेड टू रन अ बिजनेस, राइट? मतलब आपको बहुत कुछ जानने की या बहुत कुछ PhD करने की जरूरत नहीं है टू रन अ गुड बिजनेस. डेफिनेटली अ डिग्री वो हेल्प्स बट इट्स नॉट अ नेसेसिटी फॉर इट, राइट? So that was the first challenge that I got. Secondly, because I started in marketing, एजेंसी का बैकग्राउंड, बिकॉज अगर आप लोगों के पास पैसे नहीं है बिग बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने को, तो इजीएस्ट टू स्टार्ट अ सर्विस बेस्ड बिजनेस बिकॉज यू कैन गेट द क्लाइंट्स और फिर आप उनको सर्विस दे के फुलफिल कर सकते हैं, राइट? बिकॉज अगर आपके पास प्रोडक्ट आपको बेचना है तो आपको एस्टैब्लिश करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अभी आप लोगों ने ब्यूटी पार्लर का प्लान बनाया था, तो ब्यूटी पार्लर सेटअप करने के लिए आप लोगों को इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए रहेगा. बट इंस्टेड इफ यू स्टार्ट अ मार्केटिंग का एजेंसी, तो यू कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम टुडे विदाउट एनी मनी गिवन दैट यू हैव द स्किल, right? और उसके बाद का जो मैंने भी शुरू किया था जो इंडस्ट्री में इन मार्केटिंग, द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट अभी जो स्टार्टअप्स हैं और जो बिजनेसेस हैं दे सी मार्केटिंग एजेंसीज एज अ वेरी नेगेटिव लाइट, कि वो आते हैं और काम करते हैं और रिजल्ट्स नहीं देते और चले जाते हैं, राइट? So that was the challenge that I saw in my business too, because कोई trust नहीं करेगा आपको, because they have burnt their hands, the business owners, right? So that was my challenge. तो मैंने personally उसको कैसे solve किया कि I went ahead, I gave them like free trials, free offers. आपको अगर अच्छा लगता है काम तो आप हमारे साथ वर्क करिए, we give them specific कि आपको इतने का skills we will generate, इतना leads we will generate, we will qualify them, we will book meetings with you and them and all that. So after that we got to where we are right now. And the third and last challenge that I would mention right now is the motivation part, because क्या होता है कि जब आप शुरू कर रहे होते हो उस एज में, my friends used to like tell me कि I stopped going to school from 9 because उसमें कोविड आ गया था और मुझे एक बार चांस मिला कि मैं ना जाऊँ स्कूल, फिर मैंने जाना ही बंद कर दिया बिकॉज इस वॉज अ गवर्नमेंट स्कूल, तो कोई अटेंडेंस का इशू नहीं है, तो आई डिड जस्ट गो. So friends would tell me that you are wasting your time, and I also used to like produce some music professionally, like I used to play some keyboard and all. So my वहाँ के teachers would tell me that you are wasting your time. And biggest thing that my father was most against me doing it, because I was just sitting 12 hours a day on computer just typing and seeing. और मेरे पापा को लगता था कि तू क्या कर रहा है, टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा है, राइट? और ऐसे बहुत लड़ाई हुई थी मेरी उनके साथ, तो दैट वाज द मोस्ट हार्ड पार्ट. बट ऑफ कोर्स नाउ ही इज प्राउड एंड ही सेज गुड सर. But that's the point. That's the point. When you make it out in life, everybody will tell you positive stuff for you, and even if today I fail, everybody again will tell negative stuff about me. So it's not about getting influenced by the outside things. It's about just keep doing the stuff, right? And the same friends that told me that I could not do the business, asked me for a job, they literally asked for it. I'm not bragging. So that's something that you should keep in mind.
Wonderful. Your thoughts?
No, I'm actually awed by what Shivam has done. Definitely, I think I believe in reverse past life, so maybe you carry the knowledge from that. Definitely, and it's amazing to witness your journey. But yeah, one thing I agree with Shivam, and my personal experience, or what I could draw the conclusions is, please never try to put yourself into someone else's job because that is lucrative, that is giving money, or that looks to be successful. Because these are society driven, and maybe during our times it was like doctor and engineer. If you become that, you are going to be successful. Otherwise, you don't have any life or any career in future. And maybe today also there may be certain right social definitions of success. Please don't fall for it. Know your strengths. Basically, what you can do the best, because if you choose a job which is matching to your strengths, like for example Shivam, I'm sure he must be having all those qualities to do that marketing, and because he chose that path, he became successful. Had he been like listen to the advice to do, let's say study and get engineering, and maybe he would have had so many failed attempts, and he would have felt that I'm good for nothing. So please don't let others define how you can be successful. Choose your path, define your success. In my case, I knew I love technology, and I am a civil engineer. I got into computers. I just asked my dad a chance that please give me 2 months of this thing to try it out, and then got into the job, struggled. I did that. I mean, not that he was well paid and well supportive, but being a girl, there was a pressure to, okay, engineer no, we are now get married and all of that. But he gave me the chance. I asked him and I told him, let me try it out, and if I fail, I'll definitely get back. So please be passionate about whatever you do. Don't try to do anything because your friend is doing, somebody is successful, auntie said that if you go this path, this is going to go well, or brother said, listen to your inner voice, know your strength, choose the job which is matching to your strength, you will excel. You will excel in whatever you do, whether you do business, whether you do job or wherever. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Over to you. So what are the kind of challenges you faced already with your social entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think challenges are, top three challenges is like super hard. Like, it's like every day there's like many challenges, non-stop. It depends on, the complexity of the work we are trying to do as well. So the way I look at challenges and I get asked this question, what are the three hardest things that you do? I remember once in our first lab, our landlord, we had a part of a space. So we had like 600 square foot of a 1200 square foot space. So he had to pay the electricity bill. We couldn't, right? Because he had to pay the bill for the whole 1200 square foot space. He hadn't paid his bill for 4 months, and we didn't know this. So to the point where the guy cut our electricity, and this happened twice, right? And we're a lab, we're trying to do this. So I didn't see this as a challenge. I saw this as an indicator that we need to move and find a different lab, a different place to go. So I think, what Shivam said earlier, your motivation, right? Why are you being an entrepreneur? Why are you doing what you do? Is really important because challenges are every day, every second, normal. You have no control over many things. You're a small fish in a big pond. So the question becomes, how do you reframe those challenges as opportunities to learn? And I know that sounds very much like textbook mein koi marketing mein sikhaya, kisne sikhaya, but that is really true. There is so much to learn in challenges and so much to learn from your mistakes and somebody else's mistakes. That's very important. You don't have to make the same mistakes that Shivam's made that I've made. Why? That's dumb. And that's why it's important to work with other entrepreneurs and make new mistakes that nobody else is making. And that's something that I learned as well, is that before starting up, I spent 3 years working with different social entrepreneurs across the world. Being like, मुझे सिखाओ, मैंने खुद I worked for 5 years in corporate America, and उसके बाद मुझे सीखना है इसके बाद. And I felt like I didn't make the same mistakes that they made, but I made new mistakes here. So you will always make mistakes, there will always be challenges. And the question is, what sort of motivation do you have? Maybe that's the thought I would like to express.
Wonderful. And
I'm going to take this a little differently, okay? Have you ever seen a lock without a key? No. So there is no problem without a key. अगर प्रॉब्लम है तो उसका solution है, right? I'll give a small incident that happened very early in my career. I started my career as a wedding planner. Okay? From wedding planner to an investment banker and now entrepreneur. Long journey. I went to my boss and I told him, Nevin, problem है. And he said, solution है? Said नहीं, तो जाओ वापस. Solution लेकर. That day and today. If I have a problem, my mind is conditioned, find a solution. Your idea that you come up with as an entrepreneur will be criticized in the beginning. Take it. Don't give up. मेरे आइडिया को किसी ने येलो पेजेस बोल दिया, जेटायर बोल दिया, ठीक है, अब इसको इम्प्रूव कैसे करें? मर्सिडीज जो आज देखते हो आप, 1 साल में तो नहीं बनी, 90 साल लगे उसे to become a Mercedes. अगर 10वें फ्लोर पे जाना है तो पहले से नहीं जाना पड़ेगा, कोई 10वें फ्लोर पे डायरेक्टली नहीं बिठा देगा. So it's a process and enjoy that process. जो लोग प्रॉब्लम बोलते हैं ना कि तुम्हारे आइडिया में प्रॉब्लम है, ये नहीं हो पाएगा, अब ये सोचो कैसे हो पाएगा, यही सवाल पूछो बस. और ये अपने आप से तब तक पूछते रहना जब तक एक लेवल ऊपर नहीं जाए, एक लेवल ऊपर नहीं जाए, बस That's the only answer that I'll give you for this.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to respect time. We said 6:30, we close 1.5 hours, so it's 6:30. Maybe one last piece, because I'm consulting and I'm coaching a lot of entrepreneurs. One thing, one trap I believe that the entrepreneurs, any founder will, human psychology वो है कि जो मेरे दिमाग से आइडिया निकला है वो बेस्ट है. So if I have thought about something, it has to be absolutely brilliant. My one suggestion would be, do not get attached to any idea. कि आपने अगर सोच लिया कि मैंने यहाँ से वहाँ पे जाना है, life is not a perfect science. You may head in that direction, but you realize that actually and always be in touch with your customer. That's why I said my journey actually starts with who's the customer. Be in touch with the customer, because अगर वो कहता कि नहीं यार मुझे ये चाहिए, so please go here, go there, whatever your one initial idea, your one initial product offering may actually change altogether. What I am doing today, even as a consultant, I could not have visualized 10 years ago when I started this journey. I could not, because life has thrown a few curveballs up my street, so I've got to handle and I've got to adapt. So adaptability is a key, staying in touch with the customer, not being focused on my idea. So what if it's my idea? हो सकता है गड़बड़ हो सकता है उसको. So adaptability. I think that's the other key message that I'd like to give. Once again, thank you to this beautiful panel. And to you guys once again, can we have a loud roar once again for you guys? Thank you. Over to you, Anjali, for the next one.
Thank you to all our incredible panelists for those powerful insights and real life stories. It's not every day we get to hear from people who walk the talk and build something meaningful from scratch. Also, thank you for waiting and being patient. And a big thank you to all the salary for your experience, active participation. We now call upon Nana ma'am to felicitate Rajni sir, Dhanashri ma'am and Shanti ma'am. Also Meera ma'am to felicitate Anish sir and Shivam sir. These portraits have been made by our own Shalinis. Have the USS flag. Tired? Are you sure? Yes. You need a tea break? Yes.
sorry. We can't give you. Tea break is over. Why I'm asking you, you're tired or no? Because we have one last session, which is going to be fantastic session, and it's not going. I promise you, it's going to be very interesting. And post that, we have something very special for you all, which is going to relax you and your body and your mind. Yes? So are we ready? Yes! Are you sure? Yes! For this, we need a year's all year. Okay? Alright.
Now, we are moving right into our next exciting session, one that will help you harness the power of your own voice. Storytelling is an art and a skill.
Do you all need a toilet break, washroom break? Can we give you 10 minutes break? Or 10 minutes break, but I want you all to go across the campus for washroom and come back exactly in 10 minutes. Yes? Group leader, please mindful your group on time. That is the point. Let's respect the leaders who have all the way to the session. 10 minutes, go across. Go to practice with our words. I will go behind and wherever you want.
Excuse me?
चलना है हाँ ये तुम्हारा है क्या पोज कर दे यार स्टोरी
All the Shalinis, when you come back, you have to sit in your groups and not chapter wise. Got it? You have to sit in your groups. Whatever it is, every time you come into this hall, you have to sit in your groups. Okay, whoever is here, let's start settling down. Group numbers. Everybody knows the group numbers. Start settling down. Everybody, if you have found your group, just sit down. Start settling down. If you found your group, please start sitting down.
और मतलब मैंने गई और मेरे को तो ग्रुप मेंबर ही नहीं पता कहाँ बैठे हुए हैं। इस वाली रो में बैठ जाते हैं पर यहाँ बैठना है तो विदाउट ग्रुप बैठो यहाँ बैठना विदाउट ग्रुप
Okay, groups. If there are bags on the chair, put it all together on one chair. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Somebody wants to call out to you, and that somebody is Marco. Somebody is again trying to call out to you, and Marco. 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 Hello. Whoever has found your group, start sitting down. By now, you should know your group members' faces at least. Can we have the phones inside? Red color kurta, nice floral kurta, please keep your phone inside. This is what I'm going to start doing now. I already have 2 phones and plus 3 phones conference cable. Purple kurta, please stop talking on the phone, remove the headphones.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
गाइस शेयर है इधर कोई
Welcome back everyone. Storytelling is an art and a skill that can inspire, connect and lead change. Whether you're an advocate, a leader or a change maker, your story is your superpower. In this value session, we'll explore how stories can shape identity, drive social change and help us discover our inner voice. And we are thrilled to be joined by a woman who beautifully embodies all of that. Let's give a warm round of applause as we begin this inspiring session by welcoming Vaishali Kulkarni, founder, director and storyteller of the Story Stage, creative head, co-founder of the Little Workfest, creative head, co-founder and performer of the Fireflies, founder, director and storyteller of the Katha Mehfil. Let's give a warm round of applause, please.
Hello. I know I'm audible now. You know, since yesterday, I've been given the toughest task to speak last. And to speak last to an audience that has been working the entire day, busy since morning, doing lots of things. Today morning I was at a parent orientation and the parents were sitting for almost 4 hours, listening to all the things that's going to happen, that the school is going to do, what they have to do for their children. And finally, in the end, I'm called to speak when everybody's already shifting in their chairs. So it is a tough task to go last, Of course, in concerts, in musical concerts, the one who goes last is always the star. So I'm going to assume that that's how it is for today evening. Yeah? The star performance always is last. A very, very good evening to all of you. I've had the opportunity to meet some Shalinis here in Pune. A shout out to the Pune Shalinis who've met me before.
Shout out, you don't shout with your hands, you say woo woo! इतने ही थे क्या 200 तो थे उस दिन 8-10 जन हैं ओके फिर भी 3 ही आवाज आए yeah so I think I have to shake them up anyway so I had this great opportunity during my first interaction with the Shalinis on women on Women's Day I was called to share a story and telling a story has always been fun for me, energizing for me, and here I am, back again. Not just to share a story, but Naina, a dear friend who's invited me here, told me, oh, you know, we have a concept and we have a theme, and I just entered during the last discussion of the panelists, and I felt, oh God, I should have been here the whole day. I would have loved to listen to so many of them speak, doing such wonderful work. Before I begin my session today, let me tell you one thing. This is not a session wherein I'm going to stand and speak and all of you can sit after some time, you know, start sliding down and then later on go to sleep. It is not going to be that kind of a session. We are going to make it interactive. I have questions. They are very simple questions you can answer, so you don't have to just, you know, become like a statue and keep staring at me and not know what to say. My questions are very simple, so the answers are also very simple. Only one thing is required for my questions is you answer very honestly, because I also will answer very honestly. So you were here since yesterday, right? Yes. It's such a simple question, still very small answer. You were here since yesterday, right? Yes. Woken up. And you're going to be here until tomorrow, and you were attending so many inspiring, you know, lectures and talks on such great things. I mean, I heard there was a lecture on climate change, meeting entrepreneurs, talking about leadership. I mean, you're already very energized, and then someone comes and tells me, Vaishali, tell a story. I'm like, hey, they've already shared such wonderful things to do. They've already inspired you. So what am I going to do really here, you know, standing here? My first question before we begin is, whenever you've had a very tough day, how do you unwind? Like, how do you say, हाँ अभी relax करने का time है? What do you do when you want to relax? Sleep. Okay, before sleeping. Listen to some songs. Come on, I saw half of your, you know, faculty here saying, I'm going to confiscate phones, put your headphones in, part of our unwinding. Yes, and then making a reel just lets you do whatever you want to do. So that's also a way to unwind, you know. So we are
whole day is what happened in the whole day with my mother.
sharing what happened the entire day with your mother. Yes.
And speak with my imaginary person.
Can you please?
Person.
Oh wow, you speak with your imaginary person.
It's me time. Painting, write a poem.
It's a poem, wonderful.
Painting and sketching.
Painting and sketching. Dancing.
Follow my passion and do poetry and storytelling.
Wow, follow your passion and write poetry and storytelling. Okay, now that is at the end of the day. If you get a chance to do something fun on weekends, what would you like to do and what do you do?
Plantation.
Art and craft?
Plantation.
Plantation? Okay, gardening or plantation? Go for a trek? Cooking? Sleeping? Somebody said sleeping. Reading some books? Dancing?
Watching favorite TV shows.
Watching your favorite TV shows?
Ma'am, exploring new cafes.
Exploring?
New cafes.
New?
Cafes.
New cafes, okay, exploring new cafes, okay.
It's me time.
It's me time, okay. Outing with friends, alright. So, I may not look very old, but in our times, when we wanted to unwind, so I grew up in the railway quarters. My mother worked for the railways. So we had the railway quarters, which is where we lived, and there were buildings in a line, you know, like a juk gadi, like a train only. And the way we used to unwind on special weekends was, there used to be, I mean, of course, personally, I loved reading, and we used to go out, and my father would always take us out. But there was one community activity which was very, very
thrilling and a lot of fun when I was growing up, and that was watching a movie on the big screen, which would be displayed at the end of our society, corner. So you would, suppose that's the gate you enter, you have two buildings facing each other, and in this corner where the black curtains are, a big white parda used to be put, and there used to be movies there. And mostly all the old uncles and aunties would take the seats right in the beginning and right in the front. Because they were so punctual. And we would always get late, and so what we used to do is we used to be in our balconies and we used to just watch the movie in, this way. And it used to be beautiful because, they were movies that otherwise I don't think on television we would have gotten an opportunity to watch or anything. So today, while your day ends, you can treat this as a little treat of entertainment from which we're going to have some discussion, something that will be thought-provoking, that you can take back home, and when you sleep over it, you can think about it. Alright? So I have two stories here for you. I hope I have the time for two stories. You have, any of the organizers, please feel free to do this to me. Naina, this. Yeah? When there are 15 minutes left, you have to do this because unfortunately, occupational hazard of a storyteller is I have a watch, but I never really end up looking at it. Yeah, so I'll try to shorten the stories to still keep the essence of it, alright? I was told that the discussion that's, really simmering in this outfit this time for the 3 days is gender equality and change and coming of age of young girls and how, you can really adapt to what life is ahead of you. A lot of entrepreneurs have spoken to you, you've been talked about career and everything. So from the story I'm going to share with you, this is written by a Hindi author called Manoj Kumar Jha. Has anyone heard this author? Somebody nodded. Manoj Kumar Jha, आपने सुना है? अच्छा ठीक है. तो उनकी ये कहानी है, माँ भी कभी बच्ची थी. किसी को पता है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Some of you know, some of you don't. Yeah? I'll just quickly narrate the story, and the point is that though Manoj Kumar Jha is talking about one mother, I think realizing कि माँ भी कभी बच्ची थी is very important for all of us because we picture our mother in a certain way, and she's always behaved in a certain way. She's always followed the rules and norms of society in a certain way. She is always trying to accomplish the tasks for everybody else in a certain way, putting herself right behind and putting everyone else in the front. So ये कहानी मैं हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में सुनाऊं तो चलेगा, or would you prefer entirely English because the beauty of the story is both? Yeah, मैं दोनों को मिक्स करने की कोशिश करूंगी. जहाँ पे हिंदी की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है, जहाँ पे वो जो फील आने की ज़रूरत है ना, वो अपनी भाषा से ही निकलती है, isn't it? So of course the story is about a mother. The story is about how a little boy, now quite grown up, just watches his mother, and he goes back in time and he thinks about how his mother would have been, and the stories he hears about his mother from his nani, his grandmother. And whenever he would go to his nanihal, his nani would say, "Meri pyari gudiya." Now to imagine your mother to be a gudiya, now to imagine your father to be a bacha is a little difficult, I mean, even if you see pictures, you're like, what would she really have been like? Would she have been a shaitan? Would she have been ziddi? Would she have also troubled to eat the way I troubled to eat? I don't know. I mean, to imagine all of that as your mother. तो नानी हमेशा कहती थी कि मेरी गुड़िया तो हर जगह भागती थी, दौड़ती थी, उसे दौड़ना बहुत पसंद था, कूदना बहुत पसंद था. She loved to run and she loved to skip and she loved to just be all around the place. Now this is back in the age of stories. So at the age of 11, my mother, this mother, got married. Today here we are sitting talking about gender equality. We're talking about what all we can do, and I choose to do what I want to do when I want to do. And just a few generations back, little girls were married off so early. Now the biggest transition and change that mother had to make when she moved into her sasural is she had to walk. अब जब चाहे कूद नहीं सकती, जैसे चाहे भाग नहीं सकती. Forget about everything else. The very simple thing of hopping, skipping and jumping, you think of an 11-year-old. She was not able to do it and she didn't have regrets because that's how the society had been. She'd seen everybody grow up that way and she continued it. At the age of 19, she gave birth to a little boy. उसकी इच्छा थी कि वो उसको भी उठाकर भागे, दौड़े, उसके साथ छलांग मारे, उसको हर जगह लेके जाए. पर ससुराल में तो वो कर नहीं पाती थी उस चीज़ को. मुश्किल था, वक्त ही नहीं मिलता था. और कभी जब वक्त मिलता था तो एक तरीका था, एक सलीका था, हाउ टू बिहेव, हाउ टू बी, हाउ टू कंडक्ट योर सेल्फ. तो माँ जब ननिहाल जाती तब मेरे साथ खेलती, तब मेरे साथ दौड़ लगाती. The beauty of the story is the time when we lose ourselves, the me time, जिसका हम भी इंतजार करते हैं, क्योंकि even when we step out, we wear a mask and we go out, don't we? A lot of times we are not truly ourselves because of the place where we go. We sort of mold ourselves and adjust ourselves to that situation, isn't it? तो माँ कभी जो खुद कूदना पसंद करती थी, उसे कभी कूदने का मौका नहीं मिलता था. और कहानी इस मोड़ पर जाती है जब एक दिन बहुत जोरों की बारिश होती है, बिल्कुल ऐसे जैसे लास्ट 2-3 days इज बीन pouring, इट्स बीन रेनिंग. तब मन करता है ना कि सब कुछ छोड़ के बस भागो बारिश में. लिटिल किड्स नाउ रिलेट टू लाइक पेप्पा पिग. आई ऑल्सो वांट टू जंप ऑन मडी puddles. Yeah, that is how they know muddy puddles, unfortunately, nowadays, Even Indian children know muddy puddles because of Peppa Pig. Because I love muddy puddles. That's what Peppa Pig says. So I like to go into muddy puddles. But this is not even happening naturally to people who have the freedom to do it. We are so restricted in our own ways. We are so constrained into our own screens that we don't get time. तो हुई बरसात. जो पीसी थी, जो बुआ थी उस घर की, वो माँ की बहुत करीबी दोस्त बन चुकी थी. पीसी की जो सहेलियाँ थी वो माँ की सहेलियाँ बन चुकी थी. माँ मधुबनी सिखाती थी तो पीसी की जो सहेलियाँ थी वो मधुबनी सीखने आती थी. पर उसके लिए भी ज़्यादा वक्त माँ के पास कभी होता नहीं था, क्योंकि दिन भर घर में कोई ना कोई काम होता था. क्योंकि ना डिश वॉशर था, ना वॉशिंग मशीन था, ना कोई मदद करने के लिए घर पर कोई और था. घर के काम सारे घर की औरतें ही करती थी. But that rain just brought back, or that rain just rekindled something for Ma. Because PC came running and she said, जो बुआ थी वो दौड़ कर आई and she said, अरे सारे आम जो है वो पेड़ पर से नीचे गिर रहे हैं. And that day, I love the sentence that Manoj Kumar ji has written so beautifully. उन्होंने कहा है कि उस दिन माँ के लिए ससुराल मायका बन गया. या बिकॉज दैट डे उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने साड़ी को उठाकर वो ऐसा दौड़ लगाया माँ ने, और वो बाहर पहुंची और सारे आम उठाकर अपने साड़ी में भरने लगी, एक बाल्टी में भरने लगी. और वहाँ पे चाचा जी थे, ससुर जी थे, सब लोग चिल्ला रहे, भाभी बस कीजिए, भाभी बस कीजिए. पर माँ को कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था. माँ को बस बरसात, आम के पेड़ और वो गिरे हुए आम और वो दौड़ना, उस पानी में कूदना, वही दिखाई दे रहा था. She picked up all those mangoes and she came and she just plonked herself on the bed. हर किसी की नजर माँ को देख रही थी, पर माँ को उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा था, क्योंकि आज बरसों बाद माँ दौड़ी थी. We all get the opportunity to express ourselves. Yeah? It is the way in which society expects us to be a certain way that we conduct ourselves, and this holds true for men and women. I'm talking about gender equality, but Shivam was sitting here, right? जो प्रेशर्स औरतों को है ना, उससे अलग प्रेशर्स मर्दों को भी है, और ये हमें समझना है. और जिस दिन हम एक दूसरे के प्रेशर्स को समझेंगे, the world will change. Because if we both are going to compete, and if we're always going to be against each other, there will always be a conflict. Because the word against always comes with the word conflict written inside of it, woven inside of it. So जिस दिन एक औरत समझेगी कि these are the problems of a male and the day the man understands these are the problem of a woman, मतलब आप corporate world में जाओगे, the funniest part is if you're a young girl starting new, for a boy and a girl they'll both say, अच्छा experience नहीं है, fresher हो. And I used to always ask myself, yeah, I'm a fresher. Somewhere I'll have to start, no? Unless someone gives me an opportunity, I'll always be a fresher somewhere. The second hurdle comes when you're around 25 to 28. Oh, you're going to get married, which means your priority is going to be family. So should we hire her? Then you're newly married. Oh, she's newly married. She might get pregnant. So should we hire her? Yeah? She's just had a baby, so her priorities will be the child. Sardi ho gaya, zukham ho gaya, ye. So should we hire her? Society is constantly questioning. And you will say, these questions are never asked to men. Why are they never asked to men? Question to you. Because we think it's not their responsibility. Because they have a different responsibility. Elaborate.
They have to own the company and then they have to support wife financially.
Okay, so they are the primary breadwinners you are trying to tell me? Okay, okay.
Basically, patriarchy has set the mindset of the society that the men are supposed to do that other stuff and women are supposed to do these kinds.
Okay.
Due to unwanted norms of society and the stereotypes.
These are certain unwanted norms of society and their stereotypes, okay? Why this happens is different. How come these questions are not asked to men is my question. How come this man is not hireable because of A, B, C, D? That question doesn't arise. Why?
Because of mindset.
Whose mindset?
Society's
Society?
our own self.
Are also. Elaborate. Talk a little more. Think a little more.
Because we have internalized those stereotypes.
Because we have internalized those stereotypes. We have set those ideals for ourselves and we have decided I have to perform and I have to be best at whatever I do because the examples set for me are my mother, my grandmother, who were, the best of nurturers. So I have to be present for my job, I have to be present for my child, I have to be present for my work, I have to be present for the PTA, I have to be present for everything, I have to perform my 100%. Where is your recharging station? There is no recharging station for us, in the sense that you can't just go and plug yourself in and recharge yourself. Isn't it? So when I mean to say that men and women both have to realize that it is not a conflict, but a partnership. Thank you, it's a partnership. That's when these discussions will take a different turn as opposed to picking up a flag and doing dharnas, as opposed to fighting for your rights. Yeah, because the day you start viewing that, okay, I think I'm alright taking a step behind. And it's okay if I have to take 2 steps forward and I have to sacrifice something else for this. कितनी छोटी सी बात थी ना, माँ को कूदना था. होता क्या है, I'll give you example from this story. कई बार हम जहाँ पर जाते हैं हमें एक फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन बनाना होता है. Yes or no? और वो फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन बनाने के लिए क्या हम रहते हैं? नहीं. आप क्या क्या करना चाहती है फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन बनाने के लिए कि सामने वाला आदमी आपके बारे में क्या समझे? A perfect girl. Yeah, now that definition will go 80 pages because we've set so many standards for perfection. So I want to let the person know I'm a perfect girl. And everybody's definition of perfect is different. Yeah? What else do I want to show when the person sees me? I'm presentable, I'm confident. I'm the best version of myself. I'm smart.
Having a knowledge.
I have the knowledge. I'm ideal. Yeah, okay. Now tell me, I want you to now do this task by yourselves. Tell me some of the, and you have to be honest here, like I told you, okay? So make a list of 10 things that you like to portray yourself as someone sees you. Now don't give me idealistic answers. I told you be very honest. If someone is going to meet you for the first time, and the first time could be for a job, it could be for a college interview, it could be in the future when you're going to meet maybe your to-be partner, it could be for anything. 10 things that you want to portray yourself as, and from that, only take out those which you can really sustain for the rest of your life. I want to show I'm ideal. I want to show I'm perfect. I want to show that I'm always well dressed. You know, anytime, whatever. I'm just giving you some examples. So there are 10 qualities that you want to portray about yourself. Those 10 qualities, and then the ones that you think you can carry forward for the rest of your life. So that someone doesn't come and tell you, तुम पहले ऐसे नहीं, तुम बदल गए. Usually, you know, women are held responsible for saying this to the men. There are fewer men in the room, but women usually complain, you were not like this, you changed now. But change, though it's the only constant, a drastic change you will not be able to identify with yourself, and in turn, someone who has known you begins to forget what you were and what you are. So that's why I said कि मैं पहले बार जब जाऊंगी मुझे दिखाना है कि मैं ऐसे 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 हूँ, लेकिन इसमें से मैं क्या कंटिन्यू कर सकती हूँ? You getting my question? Yeah, I'm always dressed well. I'm always soft spoken. I'm always polite. I never raise my voice. I'm very kind. Yeah, whatever someone tells me, I accept it very positively. When you're writing your CV or when you have an interview, these are some things that you will be trained to say. I'm not saying go and tell them, you know what, I will be rude, sorry. I'm going to speak my mind, I'm sorry, you have to deal with it. But there's a middle ground there. Yeah? You don't have to be saccharine sweet because you can't carry on. So what are those qualities that you will portray? Honestly, you want someone to think this is what you are, and only part of this you can sustain. Honesty, punctuality, something really worth discussion. Always active. Confident.
Great personality.
Approachable. Hardworking. Flexible. Another point of discussion.
Great personality.
Great personality. What is great personality?
Attractive.
Namaskar, मैं अमिताभ बच्चन बोल रहा हूँ. That way, a great personality.
Passionate.
You said something. Focused. I have some backbenchers also answering. Active, faithful. Multitasker. Clever. Never give up, sorry. Influential. A good listener. Joyful. Positive thinking. Loyal. Understanding. High emotional intelligence. Being natural. Open-minded. Adaptive. Okay. From this, okay, now you've given all, there are so many positive affirmations that have come here, which make me feel every person over here is just the definition of, oh, perfect. I mean, if everyone can just last in this image forever, it will be so perfect. You know, like it's like going to a manufacturing industry and saying, these qualities I want, and in turn, each of you will come out of a machine. Ready, ready, ready. You're laughing, but that's what, you know, we think we can continue to be. Out of this, what you think is not possible every day. Like after some time, धीरे धीरे फिजल हो जाता है. Calmness. You can't be calm always. I love that answer. It's so honest. You can't always be. My chi is positive. Soft spoken. Believe me, in the future, if whenever you choose to become a mother, soft spoken is something which will get thrown out the balcony. Yeah? Yeah. So be prepared for it. You're not always going to be gentle and soft spoken. Be real is not possible. I'm asking what is not possible. She says, I can't be calm always. I may not be soft spoken always. I may not be punctual always. India has to learn to be punctual. Yeah? That is something I honestly feel. Do you, the older generation and my generation, do you agree? That punctuality is non-negotiable? I can't be hardworking always. Why? You will need a... So, okay, I really want to discuss, this is very important, very nice. Some of you are talking about things which actually, you're being honest that it's not possible for me to do every time, but within these things that you commit to somebody, this is not your commitment to somebody, but some of them come under commitment to yourself. Okay? And under that, number one comes punctuality. Keeping time and respecting somebody's time is non-negotiable. कैसा है ना कि ट्रेन 5 बजे है, मैं 5:05 तक पहुंच जाती हूँ. ऐसे तो नहीं पहुंच सकते ना, ट्रेन तो निकल जाएगी. I'll reach, and especially in a city like Pune, I don't know much about other cities, but in Pune I'll tell you how people say, hey, कितनी वाजता भेटायचं, कितने बजे मिलना है? हाँ 11, 11:15, 11:30 तक. And I'm like, what does that mean? Please define. Now the elasticity is also lost. Because sometimes I feel even AM PM is lost in that. Yeah? So punctuality, my dear girls, is non-negotiable. And I want you to carry this to your workplace. I want you to carry this to your families. I want you to pass this on to the next generation of children who, whenever you decide to get that, no, 9, so I always say, let's all meet by 5. No. Thank you, sir. We meet at 5, please. We meet at 6:30. The time is always at, it is not by 5. Come in 10 minutes, come by 10 minutes, 10, 20, 30, 40. So punctuality, not negotiable. Yeah, because punctuality is not something that, oh, today I don't feel like being punctual. I promised my boss I'll be punctual, but then वैशाली मैम के सेशन में बताया था कुछ चीजें कंटिन्यू नहीं कर सकते हमेशा. So, you know, I choose not to be punctual today. It's okay. No, punctuality not negotiable. Hard work. It is not for your boss. The day you ghaso, in Marathi you say, the day you decide to ghiso for your boss, you've lost the plot there only. You decide how much you can work hard. Don't burn out. Don't be a candle that is burning from both ends. You decide how much of hard work you can put. Push yourself to the next. But consistently continue that. So the key word here is consistency. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Because इसमें growth आपका है और satisfaction of something you will get. You will feel happy to get up and go to work every single day if you're not doing it for somebody else. Yeah, because you're not doing it to achieve more than someone else who's achieving. I want to get a bigger promotion than her. I want to get to a bigger role than her. I'm cool. I know where I am and I know where I get. And I'm saying this with confidence. I'll tell you from my own personal story I will share here. Is when I began as a storyteller 20 years ago, there was no storytelling profession. We didn't have the opportunity of a stage where people would invite us to talk and share stories. I started my journey on the streets, on the road, telling stories to people who came. And people would think, मैं किताबें बेच रही हूँ, मैं कोई spiritual leader हूँ, मैं कोई religious ulterior motive है मेरा, मैं कुछ, because in my days when I was growing up, we used to get handouts when we used to walk, and you know, we used to have the opportunity of reading about different religions, and we would not even know what is being handed out to us. So in these ways, people viewed me. With time, storytelling became a profession. People travel the world telling stories. You can feel this pressure even in my profession if I want to. That, oh my God, this storyteller is doing so many workshops. Instagram पे 5,000 तो छोटा है आजकल, 1 million, 2 million followers है. I have had people reject me and my profile because my Instagram had only 500 followers. And it's told to me on my face, इनका Instagram प्रोफाइल अच्छा नहीं है, इनको कैसे बुलाएंगे? इन्होंने रील्स ही नहीं बनाए अपने, because my me time is not reels. My son keeps pressurizing me. He'll come to me every 2 days. Mama, how many followers is there? I don't know. Mama, come on, you have to work hard. I said, on what? Mama, you have to gain followers. For what? Followers I don't know. From Timbuktu, if he's following me, what am I going to gain from it? No, there's no point, no? The circle that's around me should be influenced by me. The circle that's around me should feel that, oh, if she's there, we know the work will get done. If she's there, I know that things will be perfect. Somebody sitting in London giving me a thumbs up on something that I do. I know your generation से वैशाली मैम आपको समझ नहीं आता. लंदन से आपको लाइक मिला है. लंदन से क्या आप बोल रहे हैं? But London से if I get a like sitting in my house making a reel, and my next door neighbor, my community doesn't know me, that I have a library and I, work with children, what did I get? A like from London. Within no time that like can go here. Within no time it will become unfollow. We know exactly what happened to Priya Biceps, right? आप जानते हो ना रणवीर की स्टोरी को क्या हुआ? सब ने अनफॉलो कर दिया, फिर से सब लोगों ने फॉलो कर दिया. तो मैं हमेशा देखती हूँ that though I know that this generation, the validation comes from the social media, but imagine you shut your eyes and you think of all of them following. That's what they are. I'm not putting into words. You know exactly what I mean. Yeah, because I don't want to get misquoted because I said cattle class or something like that in a forum. So I have to be very careful when I speak. But अगर आप आंखें बंद करके सोचो लंदन वाला लाइक, पेरिस वाला लाइक, न्यूयॉर्क वाला लाइक, कहीं और वाला लाइक, जहाँ पे आप नहीं बिलोंग करते, they are all like. It's just a lot of likes which are just nothing. Nothing. It's virtual. It is your that वो बड़ा वाला चश्मा भी आने वाला है ना, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? That's what it is. They will give you a chashma to put it on you to make you blind, but we are slowly getting blinded by that. Your validation, number one, has to come from yourself. I am enough. Somebody said over here in the forum also that I am worthy and I am enough and I know what I am doing and I know how much I can do and I know how well I can do it. And for that, hard work is non-negotiable. I have to keep learning. Yeah. Ethics, non-negotiable. I will not cheat. I will not cut corners. Yeah. That brings me to my second story, which I will really cut very short. शिवानी की कहानी है, कई सारे लोगों को पता होगी, सती. Yes. सती कहानी सबको पता है. My profession is having a great voice modulation, being confident as a speaker. All of that is secondary. What keeps me going for 20 years is that I consistently read, consistently upgrade, and more importantly, with time and with a few strands of grey hair, few of these strands I have, there are very, respected people here, so I cannot say I have grey hair. I can't really, talk about that. But with whatever few strands of grey hair I have, I've realized that looking into the layers of stories is very important. कहानी हमेशा हमें कैसे सुनाई जाती है? इस कहानी का तात्पर्य ये है कि हमें कभी झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए। इस कहानी से हम सीखते हैं कि जो लोभी होता है वो कभी भी जिंदगी में खुश नहीं रह सकता। इस कहानी से हम सीखते हैं। Did you hate those moral science classes? या मतलब ऑब्वियस सवाल अगर आप पूछते हो तो ये स्टोरी का इंसल्ट है और ऑडियंस का भी इंसल्ट है। अगर मैं आपको पूछूं कि थर्स्टी क्रो कहानी में कौवा क्या कर रहा था? मैम हम पागल नहीं हैं, बुद्धू नहीं हैं। मैं तो कहती हूँ कि 2 साल के बच्चों को भी ये सवाल मत पूछिए, वो कहानी वैसे भी बता रहा है बच्चों को क्या है। सती कहानी बहुत सीधी है। आप हाथ उठाकर मुझे बताइए कितने लोगों को सती कहानी पता है, उस हिसाब से कितना सुनाना है कितना नहीं मैं जल्दी जल्दी डिसाइड करूंगी। सती, शिवानी जी की कहानी सती। ओके, सती जो कहानी है वो एक ट्रेन के यात्रा के बारे में है, जिस कहानी में ट्रेन में बहुत भीड़ होती है, कुंभ के मेले का समय होता है और प्रयाग की ओर वो ट्रेन जा रही होती है। और शिवानी जी खुद इस कहानी में है, वो खुद एक किरदार है जो इस ट्रेन में सफ़र कर रही है। तो वो अपना नाम ढूंढती है झट से और अपने कंपार्टमेंट में चढ़ जाती है। चढ़ने के बाद जब नाम देखते कहते हैं हाँ 4 लोग हैं और चारों महिलाएं हैं। थैंक गॉड, अदरवाइज वी हैव टू लिसन टू द स्नोर्स ऑफ ऑल द मेन हू स्लीप। तो उनकी खर्राटे तो हमें सुननी पड़ेगी, अच्छा है महिलाएं ही हैं। सो शी गेट्स ऑन टू द ट्रेन। तो जब पहले चढ़ती है तो देखती है कि एक महिला होती है जो बहुत बहुत ही सुंदर होती है, गोरी होती है, लाल रंग की सोलापुरी साड़ी उन्होंने पहनी होती है और वो एक मराठी किताब पढ़ रही होती है और अपना सर भी उठाकर देखती नहीं है कि बाकी सारे लोग तो तुच्छ हैं, मैं तो आई एम समवन ग्रेट। तो शिवानी जी नीचे देखती हैं तो उन्हें दिखता है कि उनके जो पहले ना वो स्टील के बड़े बड़े ट्रंक हुआ करते थे या एल्यूमिनियम के ट्रंक हुआ करते थे। तो उस ट्रंक पर मेजर वेलरकर करके लिखा होता था, तो मेजर की बीवी है। तो उनका एक ठाठ होता है, वो ज़्यादा किसी से बात नहीं करती, बीच बीच में अपने मंगलसूत्र को मुंह में डालती है और बस खुद ही हंसती है जो पढ़ रही है और ऊपर देखती है, बाकी सबको ऐसे से नजर डाल के देखती है और छोड़ देती है। उसके पास होती है एक खादी के सलवार कमीज में बिना दुपट्टे के बैठी हुई एक पंजाबी औरत। और मुझे अच्छा लगता है जब शिवानी जी कहती है उनकी ठुड्डी पर एक तिल था और उस तिल से 4 बाल निकल रहे थे। और जब वो कहानियाँ जो अपनी किताब थी उनके पास वो पढ़ रही थी, वो उसको घुमा रही थी बार बार पढ़ते हुए। होता है भाई, आई मीन इट्स अ मैनरिज्म। चौथा जो है वो अब तक आया ही नहीं, तीसरी तो शिवानी जी खुद थी। और शिवानी जी रुकी बस एक दिन के लिए जा रही थी, इसलिए उनके पास सिर्फ एक बटुआ था और वो सोचती थी वाह, ट्रैवलिंग लाइट इज ऑलवेज सो गुड, इवन बैक इन द डेज दे यूज्ड टू फील, आई एम श्योर। नहीं तो इतना सारा सामान उठाओ और स्टेशन आने वाला है करके पहले ही जाके लाइन लगा दो, ये सब तो करना नहीं पड़ेगा, तो वो खुश हो जाती है। ट्रेन जस्ट निकलने वाली होती है तब वो चौथी औरत आती है और चौथी औरत को देखकर हर कोई ऐसे उनको देखने लगता है, कहते हाँ मैं जानती हूँ 6 फुट 10 इंचेस, दैट्स हाउ टॉल द वुमन इज। तो कहती है शायद भारत में मैं सबसे लंबी औरत होंगी, कोई बात नहीं। पर वो महाराष्ट्र औरत से अलग होती है और ये जो पंजाबी औरत है बीच बीच में फाइल निकाल के कुछ तो ऐसे से पढ़ती है जैसे कि शी इज गोइंग फॉर सम प्रेजेंटेशन। अभी तक वो फ्रेंडली माहौल तैयार नहीं हुआ है और उतने में वहाँ पर ये जो औरत आती है लंबी वाली औरत बिल्कुल बातें करने लगती है कि अच्छा सब लोग तो हमेशा मेरे हाइट के बारे में बातें करती है, आप कहाँ से, कोई इतना जवाब नहीं, सवाल जवाब इतना होता नहीं। पर शिवानी जी कहती है आप कहाँ से हो? तो कहती है मैं प्रिटोरिया से आई हूँ, साउथ अफ्रीका, प्रिटोरिया से आई हूँ और आई एम गोइंग टू टेक द आई एम गोइंग टू ट्रैवल बिकॉज आई हैव टू एक्सेप्ट द डेड बॉडी ऑफ माय हस्बैंड। The moment that statement is made, everybody starts looking up, including मेजर साहब की बेटी। क्या ये तो कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग बता रही है। तो कहती है तुम ठीक हो ना सब कुछ? हाँ इस बात को 1 साल हो गया। कहती है 1 साल हो गया? कहते हैं हाँ वो एक्चुअली एक्सकर्शन पे गए थे हिमालय पर्वत पर और वहाँ पे there was an avalanche और वो बॉडी शव बहुत दिनों तक मिला नहीं, अब मिल गया तो मुझे कॉल आया है और मैं उनके शव को लेने आई हूँ। तुम ठीक होना था ना? हाँ हाँ, और मैंने तय कर लिया है कि मैं उनको लूँगी और मैं भी सती होने वाली हूँ। What? तो मैं सती होने वाली हूँ। सती का मतलब पता है आपको? सती कहते हैं तो पंजाबी में क्या बात कर रही हो? आज के ज़माने में कौन सती करता है? तुम साउथ अफ्रीका में रहते हुए ये क्या सोच रहे तुम करने? नहीं नहीं, ये तो बहुत ज़माने से मेरे घर में चला आ रहा है। मेरी नानी तो राजा राममोहन रॉय के भी अगेंस्ट जाकर उन्होंने सती वो सती हो चुकी थी। अपने मेरे नाना जी की बॉडी को उनको शी केप्ट इट ऑन द फायर एंड शी बर्न्ड अलोंग विद इट। माय मदर डिड द सेम। मैं भी यहाँ सती होने आई हूँ। तो लोग बहुत उसको मनाने की कोशिश करते हैं, पर उसका मन बन चुका होता है और वो इतनी कैजुअली इस बात को कहती है कि इस बात को बाकी की औरतें डाइजेस्ट ही नहीं कर पाती। शिवालिनी जी सोचती है कि मेजर साहब की बीवी तो एकदम मतलब शायद मुंह खोलकर कुछ कहेंगी नहीं। ये जो पंजाबी औरतें वो खादी कपड़े पहने हैं, सो शी मस्ट बी फ्रॉम सम सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, तो शायद ये उनको कुछ कह पाएंगी। मैं क्या बोल सकती हूँ? ये सारी चीज़ें जब दिमाग में चल रही होती है, वो हाथ मुंह धोकर आती है और अपना डिब्बा खोल देती है। उसमें बहुत सारा खाना होता है और ये जो 3 औरतें होती है वो देखती रह जाती है, क्योंकि उस डिब्बे में क्या होता है? लड्डू होते हैं, पराठे होते हैं, समोसे होते हैं, कचौड़ी होती है। और ये ट्रेन में ये सब कौन लेकर आता है? ट्रेन में तो पूरी आलू की सब्जी और अचार, थेपला अचार। साउथ इंडिया इडली, तैर सादम, कर्ड राइस. These are 2 things that we always carry. There's a South Indian sitting over there. That's why I had to say that. Because I always ate idli and tair sadam in my dabba whenever we traveled. That's all that we got to eat. तो इस खाने को देखकर तो वो बहुत ही सब लोग शेयर करते थे. Forget about this whole sati discussion because the food is so tasty. खाना वाना खा लेते हैं और बाद में तो डिब्बा भी निकालती है. एक पान का डिब्बा, कहती है तुर्की से मेरे नीलू मेरे लिए लेकर आए थे, इसमें पान है. सब लोग पान भी खाते हैं, थोड़ी देर बाद सब सो जाते हैं. सुबह जब उठते हैं तो जो मेजर साहब हैं उनकी बीवी पहले चिल्लाती है, मिसेस बेलनकर, हाय मेरा ट्रंक कहाँ चला गया. उठती है तो वो पंजाबी औरत कहती है, अरे वो तो मेरे सोशल सर्विस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ग्रुप के 10,000 रुपए भी चोरी हो गए, मेरी बैग भी लेकर गई और मेरा बटुआ भी चला गया. सती. परसेप्शन. मेजर साहब की बीवी है, बहुत सुंदर दिखती है, साड़ी पहना है, तो इनका मिजाज ऐसे होगा. खादी के कपड़े पहने हैं तो ये सोशल वर्कर है, क्योंकि अपने आप को ढंग से संभालती नहीं है तो सोशल वर्कर है. सोशल वर्कर कैन नॉट बी ड्रेस्ड इन अ कांजीवरम साड़ी. Major Saab's wife cannot be in some capris and just sitting chillaxed. No. What I love about the story is, of course, the fun element of it and the talk of sati that happens. But I always think that औरतें ही औरतों को किस तरीके से perceive करती हैं. It is very easy to stand and say, oh, the men in the society, the patriarch, and all of this is happening. But right from mythological times, it is the women who have caused problems to women. Do you agree? Yes. We'll be honest. No, we are looking at equality, but equality first will come from within our own community. If we treat ourselves equally, अगर किसी को देखकर मैं जज नहीं करूं कि oh she doesn't smile. आजकल प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गया है, इतना व्हाट्सएप और इतना इंस्टाग्राम और इतना फेसबुक है कि हम लोग कुछ अलग करने की कोशिश करते हैं. ऑलरेडी सीन इट एंड ऑलरेडी रेड इन व्हाट्सएप. इफ आई लाफ टू मच आई एम टू टॉकिंग. आई जस्ट एक्सप्रेस माय सेल्फ टू मच. इफ आई डोंट एंगेज मच विद एनीबडी आई एम अ स्नॉब. इंट्रोवर्ट इज स्टिल काइंड. यू आर अ स्नॉब. कुछ 30 मार का समझती है. एरोगेंट. Yeah. If I'm very helpful, pleasing people. हाँ, कुछ तो चाहिए होगा. That serial sort of a thing. इसके दिमाग में कोई षड्यंत्र चल रहा है. If somebody is too kind, there's this automatic background music. Unfortunately, Balaji telefilms have started in our minds for everybody. That's actually the problem. Is perception comes from those things that influence. It is plain. We don't hear for what we have to hear something. If somebody is not helpful, doesn't go out of their way. Okay, let me put it another way. If somebody doesn't go out of their way,
Attitude, ego.
Too much attitude. You know, she thinks no end of herself. Yeah? If someone doesn't share much with you,
Ego.
secretive. We're looking for negative terminology. Oh, she's secretive. I'm talking about terminologies wherein you raise one eyebrow. I can never do it. As a performer, it is expected out of me, but you know, the point of how we negatively look at situations is when you raise an eyebrow and that's what I'm getting at. So if you smile too much, there is an issue. If you don't smile, there is an issue. If you dress very casually, you don't take life seriously. If you dress too much, you're a show off. तो मैं क्या करूं? जो अपने को अच्छा लगता है वो करो, को भी डिफाइन करने की क्यों जरूरत है? क्या कोई मुझे बताएगा? क्योंकि अपने को जो अच्छा लगता है वो करने के लिए भी एक मैच्योरिटी चाहिए होती है. It's not like तारे जमीन पर वाला 9-year-old ईशान who says relax. And not just because the society expects something out of you, but you have to realize, in my responsibility as this, these are the things which are required for me to do, so I can go back home satisfied. My mother would always say, and this is my biggest life lesson. She would say, when you go off to sleep, you should be able to sleep peacefully. When you look into the mirror, you should be able to look into your own eyes. तुम चाहे दुनिया को कितना भी झूठ बोल लो, तुम किसको भी ज्यादा इम्प्रेस करने की कोशिश करो या किसी और को फेवर करो, किसी और को चाहे पता नहीं चले, you yourself will know when you look at yourself in the eyes, when you see yourself. And the day you can lie to yourself and you can get away with it and say that I don't care, that is the day you need to blow a whistle for yourself and say no, I'm taking the wrong path. You have to recognize that. गलतियां हर कोई करता है और गलतियां करनी चाहिए और अलग अलग गलतियां करनी चाहिए. अनीश ने कहा ना, अनीश राइट और Anish, right? So Anish said, yes, you have to make newer mistakes. So you learn from other people's mistakes. But when you make a mistake, you learn to stand, pause, observe, find the solution to that problem which led you to wherever you are, taking back from, literally summarizing the stories of whatever they said. And that's when you can really move on. सती कहानी सती के बारे में नहीं थी मेरे लिए. सती कहानी हास्य के बारे में नहीं थी मेरे लिए. सती कहानी ये थी कि शिवानी जी बैठते हुए उन तीनों को कैसे जज कर रही थी. 4 घंटे के सफर में कितना कुछ उनके बारे में अज्यूम कर लिया और जज कर लिया बिना उनसे बात किए. हम खुद भी ये कई बार करते हैं. And an important part of this is, one, before you judge somebody, go 2 steps back and think what their story could be. Everybody has a story as to why they behave a certain way. And the day you learn to respect somebody else's story, you will be more accepting of other people. और जिस दिन आप लोगों को इस तरीके से एक्सेप्ट करने लगते हैं ना, life becomes very easy. And I am not saying this to give you gyan. Okay? People sitting in the back will think, oh, this is some sermon or some sister from some place has come to talk to us about all of this. But the truth is very simple. Go back and just think of what the backstory is. वो क्या कहते हैं उसको? Skip recap. Skip recap मत कीजिए. आप लोग बिंज वॉचिंग के जनरेशन में हैं तो आपको ऑलरेडी पता है. मैं तो मेरे खुद के बेटे को देखती हूँ कि जो एपिसोड पता नहीं है उसको भी 10-10 सेकेंड फॉरवर्ड करता है बिकॉज ही नोज नहीं देखना है. We can't be that way. I'm going to end with one very important note with an example of Amazon Prime. All of you know Amazon Prime? Yes. Amazon Prime recently had a meeting wherein they were talking about developing shows for the audience. There are discussions, lots of shows are brought to each of these organizations like Netflix and Amazon and everywhere, and then they are studied and then They decide to buy the rights and then it is, featured in their, OTT platform. It was very sad to hear that the content creators, the producers, the directors, the story writers were asked to create content so that the people who are watching can have the liberty to go to a second screen also. मतलब प्रोग्राम को इतना सिंपल और इतना बद्धा बना दो, इतना सेंसलेस बना दो, इतना बेसलेस और इतना ऊपरी बना दो कि while I am watching, if I see my phone also, I am not missing anything. I don't have to rewind. Which means, even when I am present in the moment, I am present in another moment. And I blame the Avengers for this. You know why? Because they brought the stupid idea of portals. मेरे छोटे छोटे बच्चे जब कहानियां लिखते हैं उनको कुछ सोचता नहीं है, एक पोर्टल बनाया उसके अंदर घुस गया, दुनिया बदल गई. You can never escape into another portal in your life. You have to face every challenge. You have to turn the page of every story. And remember that every story is one chapter. It is not the end. It is not the end. I am not saying that, it is how you choose to end your own story. No. There will be ups, there will be downs, but they're all single chapters and you move on, and you move on, and you move on. You don't have the liberty of saying, this is not my story. I want to live a different life. And if you ever decide to do that, you have to start from scratch and then you have to start writing that book for yourself. So in this generation of second screen option, in this generation of not living in the moment right now, it is stories that make your life a little more slow-paced. भागादौड़ी के पीछे आप है ना, तो वो भागादौड़ी स्टोरी से स्लो होती है. और स्टोरी स्क्रीन पर नहीं, स्टोरी सुनकर, स्टोरी पढ़कर. क्योंकि उस स्पीड में भी आपको कुछ चीजें देने की जरूरत है. For you to settle in your mind, for you to be present in the moment, and for you to be able to really write your own story and check it as you write. Is it going well? So that you don't go back saying, excuse me, can you proofread, can you edit 100 times? Because the moment you hand over your story to somebody else to edit or proofread, there's going to be thousands of criticism which you can't deal with. Because everybody will look at it from a different lens. So when you write your story, be patient. When you tell your story, be realistic. Remember what I said, what you can really sustain is what you should present yourself as. When you write your story, there should be certain non-negotiables which get associated with you as your personality. So when I talk about her, someone should say she's hardworking. She's never late, yeah? She's always punctual. She's always ready to learn. So you decide what are the non-negotiables for you. You know that you are not very hardworking. इतना काम करना अच्छा नहीं लगता इसलिए मैंने BCom लिया. It's okay. It's okay. Because this is how society has said, na? My grandmother used to say, BCom means be calm. Don't have to work very hard. But I used to always tell her, Party, I don't understand SPN accountancy. I don't know debit and credit, I don't know. Every subject is difficult. Every subject needs that kind of skill level. So, अपने skill level को समझो and make a list of things that are non-negotiable for you when you tell your story. So that when you look back a few years from now at your present self today, you don't say, oh my God, I can't really recognize myself. I have changed for the best. Yes, change is good. We are celebrating change. But the essence of you should still remain within you because that's what makes you you. So I saw this, now I saw that, and so I decided to end my story. I hope you all didn't go to sleep at the back. Thank you very much.
What a beautiful, heart-opening session. Thank you, ma'am.
for reminding us that stories don't need to be perfect. They just need to be true.
And thank you, Shalini, for listening deeply, engaging fully, and being brave enough to imagine sharing your own story one day, maybe even today.
As we carry this energy forward into the rest of the day, remember your experiences, your struggles, your joys, they are not just memories, they matter.
We now call upon Manisha ma'am to felicitate Vaishali ma'am.
Okay, now I know why they wanted a good picture of me. I remember constantly getting on ma'am, दूसरा photo भेजो ना, ma'am एक और दूसरा photo भेजो. So I saw everyone's carrying each other. Okay, this congratulations. Fantastic.
Thank you for showing up today, not just for the session, but for yourself. We can't wait to see you tomorrow for a new day of discovery, strength, and celebration. Before we close, we want to leave you with these words, simple yet powerful. The world may say you're far too small, but mountains move when dreamers fall. Stand up, strong, don't run, don't hide. Your courage is your greatest pride.
We will now break for dinner. Please use this time to recharge, reflect, and all that you have experienced today, and perhaps spark a new conversation with someone you have not met yet. Tomorrow we kickstart the day with an energizing sports activity from 7 to 8 a.m. followed by breakfast and a full lineup of inspiring sessions. Do make sure to arrive on time. We will be starting sharp, so let's show up for ourselves and for each other.
Girls, the dinner is ready. You all can go for dinner. If you want to go to your room and come back, but the dinner will shut at 9 p.m. sharp. So we suggest that you all have your dinner and then you're free for the day. Yes? So good night everybody. Relax and tomorrow morning the business ideas, your blue, if you can put it on a sheet and WhatsApp to your group leader and they'll send it us to us. So we post it on our social media, all about it like that. Breakfast, don't miss out on the breakfast. As you all know, 7:30 to 9 is the breakfast time. And see you all here in Kalidasa 9 a.m. sharp. Relax for a long day tomorrow and meet you at that. Can we go group wise for dinner so that there is not a long meeting? Okay, let's go.
चलना
girls, femininas, please stay back. Girls, girls, we are having a small sound healing session, not for you all. It's not compulsory for you all. We want to do it for ourselves. If you wish to join, sit down. If you wish to go for dinner, you are free to do what you want to. But if you are moving out, then move out immediately. If you are staying back, then sit down. It's your choice, girls, okay? You don't want to fall.
खाना भी चाहिए मजा नहीं आएगा वो पर बहुत कभी मस्त सूप मजा आएगा कभी मजा आएगा खाके उधर जाके क्या हुआ मैम एक क्वेश्चन है ना उसके बाद खाना मिलेगा कि नहीं अगर यहाँ पे रह जाएंगे हाथ सारे क्योंकि 9 बजे वो बंद होने वाला है और अगर हम यहाँ रुकेंगे तो ये लोग पूरे बाहर हो क्या करें
Hello,
सात बजे की बात है वो ऐसे रख नहीं सकते क्योंकि 9 बजे तक खाना ही खा रूल है वैसे ही भगा देंगे
Girls, are you all staying back or going? Then quickly sit down. On the count of 10, 9, 8,
नहीं यहाँ बैठते हैं ना
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and my last number is 1. I can still see a lot of girls standing. If you want to move out, please. If you want to sit, your choice. Thank you.
Everybody please settle down. Yeah. make yourself comfortable, whether on chairs. हाँ किसी को नींद आ रही है और गिरने का डर है तो नीचे बैठ सकता है. Sometimes it happens. You really fall asleep. Sometimes you just don't. Relax. Relax. सीधे नीचे रख दो. कुछ गिर सकता है वो छोड़ दो. Relax. So this is all about relaxation. Take your chair. Chair खाली है. You can also keep your legs up if you want. So any of the please help the convener in the front and our guests and our seniors in the front if they want a chair to keep their legs on. Basically just relax. Close your eyes. Just relax into your body. Try to keep your spine straight, yet very relaxed. हाथ पैर उनका वजन छोड़ दीजिए. Breathe in. Breathe in with lots of love. Let it enter every cell of your body. And now waves of relaxation. Be aware of your body. अपने शरीर के प्रति सजग रहिए. सिर से पांव तक ये शरीर है. उसके अंदर और बाहर क्या है, उसके लिए सजग रहिए. इस आवाज को, इस नाद को सुनिए.
entire universe was made with sound. Let these vibes of sound recreate you in whatever way you choose to today. Open to the divine vortex. And now a very special sound for your heart. It is going to vibe into your heart. Be aware of the energy of your heart. So all about love